Hi there, this is Jennifer with Rome Fields, and today is day one of our 21 days of cable knit stitches. And we're just going to dive in with some cables. I will have some links below to some previous cable stitches if you want to get familiar with some cable knit stitches. But I'm going to try to take it easy at the beginning, kind of do some of the basics, and then we'll get into a little more complicated stitches. But for the most part, it really is just a few different techniques used in different ways to create different results. So if you followed along in the lace series, you noticed a trend, that same trend of you're using the same stitches in different ways to get different results. So this is a side-by-side cable. So we're going to do two different cable stitches, and to me it kind of looks like a horn, the way, or waves even, the way they kind of go out. And the other thing that I'm going to do different with this series is I want you guys to have a finished product whenever you're done. So I personally had a hard time with the swatches because you really just don't have a finished product at the end. So this one I'm going to do headbands, because y'all know I love headbands. Because you can wear them with a bun. So I'm going to do a headband pattern with every stitch. Okay, I'm going to try to do one with every stitch. I don't know that I can do all of them, but I think the majority of them I can. So this is a super bulky yarn. One of my favorites I'm going to start with is Millamia, and it's the Naturally Soft Super Chunky. It's 100% wool. And they recommend using a US 17 knitting needle. However, I am using a 13. I am using DPNs to knit these headbands just because they're easier to knit with, and I have several different sizes of them because I really like them for headbands. Let's see, I cast on 14 stitches, and you will need a cable needle. This is mine. It has like little ridges in it to help catch so that the needle doesn't just fall off, and it doesn't have like the little horseshoe in it. I really haven't found the perfect cable needle that I like, but this one would be my favorite right now. This is only a 4-row repeat, so it's pretty easy to memorize. And the edges, I keep it pretty easy because I just want this like just a nice clean edge. So when you have it on, oh, and the other thing that we're going to be doing a lot of is the reverse stockinette stitch on each side of the cables, because that really makes the cable pop, so it looks prettier. So if you just had knit stitches on either side of the cable, it just wouldn't stick out or stand out very much. So it does look prettier this way. Alrighty, so we are ready for row 4. So I'm going to just show you row 4 because rows 1 through 3 are just knit stitches, knits and purls. So you only have every 4th row is a cable. So it's really easy to memorize, and you get such a pretty, I love this. So we're going to, with the yarn in the front, slip one purlwise, and this is our nice clean edge. And then these are the 2 reverse stockinette stitches on this side of the right side of the cable. And then we're going to cable 4 back. So with this in the front, I take 2. So whenever it says cable 4, that's a total of 4 stitches for that whole cable. So we're going to slip half of them onto the cable needle, and it stays in the back, so that's what the B is for, cable 4 back. And then we're going to knit 2 stitches off of our left hand needle, and then I like to pull that through just so I don't lose stitches. These are nice and snug, but sometimes they're loose. And then I bring my yarn into the back behind that cable needle, and I'm going to knit these 2 stitches off of the cable needle. And you'll probably hear me say this over and over again, but it is a bit of a juggling act to do cables. So that cable 4 back gave us a right leaning cable. Now we're going to do a cable for front. So with the right hand needle to the back, we're going to slip these 2 stitches off of the cable needle and hold them in front of our work. And honestly, we did the hard one first. So now we're going to knit these 2 stitches, and then we're going to knit the 2 stitches off of the cable needle. And you can see it a lot better here whenever you're doing it in the front. You can really see what you're doing. In the back, I just kind of just go with it. So knit those 2 off, and it is really tight and it doesn't look very good, but you see how it does loosen up after you do a few rows. And then we're going to reverse stocking knit stitch. So we're going to purl 2 and slip 1 purlwise. And then you do rows 1 through 3 knitting, and I promise it does loosen up and it looks just like that. It just looks real tight because it's all on the needles right now. So that is day 1. Not too bad, not too scary. I will be honest with you, whenever I was learning cables, before I attempted to do a cable, it took me about a year to work up to, I don't know, to be brave enough to try a cable. I just thought they were really hard and complicated, and now, I mean, they're just YouTube, you can learn so much. But they're not hard, they're not complicated. It does take a little bit of juggling with the different needles, but like I said, just pull it through so you don't lose your stitches off of your needle, your working needles. And once you do it 100 times, yeah, it's really not, it'll be like breathing. So that was day 1, and I will see you guys again for day 2 tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching.